1 week into the season, Showtime gave them the thrill of a lifetime. In a moment that involved zero planning, Alexis reached for the ball coming his way. He managed to bring it down, but it slipped away. That's when Amber jumped into action.
Of course, you know that I'm a fan of Otani Shohei, so when he hits his first home run as a Dodger, I'm going to take notice. But when I saw the story of his first home run ball, it speaks to an innate something that's present in other cultures that I think is lost in our current day Black culture.
First, the team only wanted to give them 2 baseball hats in exchange for the ball. Now, at the end, they got the 2 hats, a different ball, and a bat, which they were happy about. But ultimately, this couple says the best part of all this was just living the experience. Amber Rahman and her husband Alexis Valenzuela had been looking forward to seeing Shohei Otani sport that Dodger blue for a long time.
At the Angels, it's hard not to notice him, and we always thought about, what if he was in the Dodgers?
And 1 week into the season, Showtime gave them the thrill of a lifetime. In a moment that involved zero planning, Alexis reached for the ball coming his way. He managed to bring it down, but it slipped away. That's when Amber jumped into action.
And I look over at him, I look down, and I'm like, oh my God, it's right there.
Taking hold of the ball as the stadium erupted in cheer.
The Great Replacement is upon us, and with it, the revelation of many of the abnormal norms that have shaped modern-day Black culture and the environment that has created a gender war. It's here where what is normal in other communities and lacking in the Black one is revealed.
They didn't want him to influence my decision on whether I was keeping it or not. They didn't want him to influence my decision.
Some people are saying this ball could have been worth over $100,000.
Yeah. So some people are saying, that I shouldn't have traded the ball, that I should have kept it.
They were separated by Dodger security, so she was lowballed for the offer when she gave up the first home run ball. But that's not as important as just look at the body language of the two of them together. They cooperated so that she could get the ball, and they were working together. And not only that, but you see a natural ability to pair. He's not super macho guy. He's just a regular guy. And she's with her husband. They went to a baseball game. Maybe she really likes baseball, or maybe she likes baseball because he likes baseball. Whichever it is, they are able to form a union that works to the point where they could get the first home run ball of Otani Shohei working together. And it's this ability to cooperate that we don't really see very much in our community. Shout out to the Blizzard King, Dennis Sperling, for posting this clip from 8 at the Table. What you'll notice is, just as you saw the cooperation between the Latino husband and wife, and not just that, but they separated them so that they can get a better offer from the young lady because they knew she was looking to her husband for leadership.
They didn't want him to influence my decision.
You're going to see the opposite of that in this conversation, and how contentious the battle for leadership actually is when Black people try to come together in union.
Fast forward to this generation, Black women don't respect Black men. There's no empathy for Black men. There's no sympathy for Black men. You don't even love Black men. You don't even know who we are. You don't give a fuck about us. Pay my bills, eat my ass, and that's it.
The point being made here is a very simple one. If you've ever been with someone and they genuinely liked you for who you are and they cared about the things that you cared about, they might do something like go to a baseball game that's boring to them and pretend like they enjoyed it because it's something that you enjoy. Instead, many Black men, unfortunately, have had the experience of, what can you do for me? And your worth is based on what you can provide, and nobody cares what you want. And he's speaking of that frustration here.
It's important that Black men understand what was done to us and why it was done to us. It's also important that Black women understand their position in systematic racism and how they're being utilized to destroy their whole family and their whole community and whole generation. Okay?
When you watch the body language of this couple, it's evident who is in the leadership role. There's no struggle for who is leading them. And his definition of manhood is defined by himself. It is not defined by what he can buy for her, what she wants from him, and if he can provide it or not. And what you're going to see in the next part of this clip is that even the definition of manhood itself is contentious.
Now, a black man's role is to be the protector, provider, maintainer, sustainer, and leader. I'm a man,
Producer.
protector, provider, maintainer, sustainer.
Producer.
You have your opinion, I have mine.
You're right. I'm just giving it. And
Yeah,
producer.
right, I got you. You have what you want to put in. I feel like black men need to disregard how black women feel about our masculinity and be more self-contained. I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need your money. I don't need none of that. I'm not sleeping on your couch. Don't give me no keys. I'm gonna get my own. I'm gonna go to God. And when you don't want to fit my program, bye. Go.
Thank you.
You're not needed. You're dangerous. I don't want to bear seed with you. I don't want to sleep with you. I don't want to be your friend. I'm staying away from you.
This is sad. I didn't tell this shit to my niece. She got 4 kids by 3 different men, pregnant with twins.
Because there is no repercussion. The reason you don't see this high out of wedlock birth rate in Asia is because it's a shame-based culture. They never took shame out of the culture.
And think about it. My own sister tried to coincide with this shit.
Yes, they've been trained that way.
And I'm like, yo, do you think that them kids don't need a father?
Yeah.
What the fuck does it look like to be a single woman with soon to be 6 kids?
Did you see that short about this old guy? He was like in his 90s. He talked about when the welfare man showed up at his house and said, "Do a parent household," and told said, "Can I talk to your mother?" And he showed up, and the welfare man showed up at the house, said, "Can I talk to your mother?" And back then, $15 a week was a lot of money, right? I'll give you $15 a week if you get rid of your husband. If your husband's not in the house. Guess what she took? Guess what she took?
She took the $15.
Yeah, she took away $15 a week.
The voice you heard, if you know, it's BGS Ibmore. But he's making a really good point here, because even in this situation where a young lady has multiple children and she's not with the man, she's getting advice from men basically telling her, find a man that's going to take care of you and be under his control, and there's still pushback. He speaks of a story earlier from the stream where a man tried to help a young lady with a child, and the old baby's daddy came back and started living in the house when she told him to leave. But it's just a symbol of the kind of disrespect that comes to stepfathers. But he continues with the story, and you can see the back and forth, the push and pull that we saw in the previous clip is there in present.
That the same brother that took that woman in, okay, with her baby, a baby, not a grown kid, a baby. Okay, black men have been socialized for 250 years to take these kinds of women and their children in. That's been part of our culture. And now when we say we don't want to, all of a sudden, oh, everything's wrong, right? It's all fucked up. Even though no other culture in the world does this shit.
Y'all want power so much. But here's the folly of it. Something has to give. Something has to give.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be sex, though. You know, Google is for fools, believe it or not. And
I see her defending single motherhood, right? This is the problem. Now you have the only female on here. She's defending single motherhood. Listen to her.
You could search, young lady. You could, in the engine of Google, you could search how to be a good mother. You could actually just type that in and go from there. And guess what? It doesn't include having sex with men just to make ends meet. Okay? So when these guys are suggesting that your last ditch for hope is to have sex with simps, that's not your last ditch.
Generally speaking, when I make videos, I edit out expletives, but in this particular case, I feel it's so important to let the video be heard as is for no other reason than dramatic effect. When in the black community, a black man tries to enforce leadership over the family, he is met with resistance to the point where you can't win. And this is the beauty of the 1 minute rant from BGS Ibmore.
We got to bring shame back into this culture, because it used to be you had shame, but you had a solid family background, right? Shotgun marriages and all. That's how come Asian families are intact for the most part, right? If they have a family, they're intact. So we don't have enough SBE. That's how come the black community is so fucked up. Okay, we don't have enough of it. Yeah, we got to bring shame back. Nah, man, you know what? I ain't gonna tell my story, but you know what? Similar shit happened. What that man went through, I went through some similar shit. Okay, some similar shit. And guess who got the blame? Okay, I am Jermaine number 1. Okay, I can say it's always Jermaine's fault because I've been Jermaine. Okay, I'm still Jermaine. I'm still Dusty. Okay, that's why I don't mind being. They call me Dusty. I am proud to wear it. Right? They say it's Jermaine's fault. I already know. Okay, I already know that you can't win. Okay. But the thing is, now you have the opportunity to get out the fucking game, man. Get your fucking passport. Get the fuck out of here. Leave these broads alone, right? Because that's how. Hear what Melo's talking. Okay, that's common.
If you listen to the rant's frustration, what it simply says is, why can't we as black men have someone that will sit back and support us like you're seeing here? Why does at every twist and turn there has to be a battle for not only who's in charge, but when things don't go a certain way, who's at fault, which is almost always that of black men. If black men in 2024 are to look at the way things are and say, well, if it's going to be my fault anyways, and I'm being asked to accept something that, generally speaking, very few men in other cultures would accept, why take it? And better yet, you look around and you say, I would just like someone that wants what I want and cooperates with me. Maybe they don't have a butt as big. Maybe they're not as good at sexy dancing. But if they cooperate with us and they don't blame us for everything, and they see manhood as more than provide resources, make me happy, and be quiet when I want you to be quiet, that's a win for a lot of black men. And like you heard BGS Ibmore say, get your bleeping passports. He said it, not me, but I agree with him. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.